It's an incredible thought. Have you ever just stopped and considered that everything in the entire universe, from a single grain of sand to the most distant star, is all part of one single, absolutely flawless system? In this deep dive, we're going to explore the commentary of Surah Al-Qasas to really unpack this idea. And you'll see how getting this one concept can totally shift our perspective on what success means, the danger of arrogance, and what we're really doing here. All right, so what's our roadmap for this exploration? First, we're going to start with the foundational idea, this divine blueprint of perfect creation. Then, we'll look for the signs of it in the rhythm of our own world. From there, we'll dive into the story of Qarun, a really powerful cautionary tale about arrogance. Then, we'll shift gears to the ultimate day of accounting and discover the unbelievable witnesses that will be there. That's going to lead us to rethink our entire lives as a kind of divine trust, and we'll wrap it all up with a final, crucial point on humility.
So let's start with a concept that is, frankly, mind-blowing. The source material presents this idea of the absolute, no-exceptions perfection of God's creation. And we're not just talking about things looking nice, like a beautiful landscape. We're talking about a deep, systemic perfection that is the very foundation of reality. Understanding this is really the key to the whole thing.
Okay, this verse right here is our cornerstone. The commentary really wants us to focus on this. It's not just a passing comment. The Arabic word here, ahsana, is so rich. It comes from husn, which means beauty, goodness, excellence. So it's not just saying things are made well, it's saying they were made in the most beautiful, the most excellent, the most perfect way possible for what they're supposed to do. Nothing is just there for no reason. Everything has a purpose, and it's perfectly designed for it.
Now, the text makes a really critical distinction here. This isn't about some kind of superficial picture-perfect view of the world. It's about a perfection that you can only understand when you see it as a whole integrated system. Think of it like a master watchmaker's work. If you just pull out one tiny gear, it might look weird or pointless, but inside the watch, its design is absolutely perfect for its job. The commentary is arguing that to get even a glimpse of divine perfection, we have to try and see the whole watch, not just the one little gear that our limited human sight might not understand.
And this is where it gets really interesting, because the source gives us two ways of looking at reality. First, there's the Nidam Atom, the perfect, the complete system. This is the big picture view, seeing how everything connects. Then, you have the Nidam Nakis, the deficient or incomplete system. And that's usually our view, right? Limited. For instance, you might see a wildfire and only see destruction and loss. That's the Nidam Nakis view. But if you understand it's also a necessary part of the forest life cycle, clearing out old growths so new life can flourish, well, then you're starting to get a piece of the Nidam Atom, the perfect system.
Okay, so let's look for some tangible proof of this perfect system that the commentary points to. And the most obvious, the most constant sign that every single one of us experiences is the cycle of night and day.
The text highlights this absolutely beautiful metaphor. The night is called a libas, a garment, a piece of clothing. And why is that? Well, because it covers us, it conceals, it provides this blanket of quiet and calm. It's not just that the sun is gone, it's a divinely created state that helps our bodies and minds to heal, to rest. It gives families a time to come together and allows for quiet worship away from the noise of the world. And then, in perfect balance, you have the day. It's made for ma'ash, for livelihood, for activity, for going out and seeking your sustenance. The sunlight isn't just for seeing, it energizes us. It's the time God designated for us to strive, to build, to interact with the world. This back and forth isn't an accident. The commentary presents it as a core feature of a healthy human life, designed by God for our physical and spiritual well-being.
So the huge takeaway here is that this daily cycle is not some random cosmic clockwork. It's presented as a profound mercy from God, one of the clearest signs of that Nidam Atom, that perfect, purposeful design. The system provides the perfect rhythm for our lives, a time for rest and a time for work, a time for quiet and a time for society, a time for reflection and a time for action. It's the daily, undeniable proof of that first principle we talked about. He has perfected everything he's created.
Okay, so now that we've established this idea of a perfect divine system, the commentary brings us to a really powerful case study. It's the story of a man who was given incredible blessings from within this very system, but he completely failed to recognize it, and his failure became a lesson for all time. He's really the ultimate example of someone living inside the Nidam Atom, but only seeing the world through the lens of Nidam Nakas, the deficient system that was centered all on himself. Let's talk about Qarun, also known as Korah.
So the source doesn't just introduce Qarun as some rich guy. He's the archetype of the person who fails the test of wealth and success.
He was from the people of Prophet Moses, so he wasn't ignorant, he knew the message. And he was given a fortune so vast it said that just the keys to his treasure chests were so heavy that a group of strong men had to carry them. But this incredible blessing became his great trial, and his response was just a catastrophic failure of perspective.
This one line, this is Qarun's fatal mistake, all summed up. When the good people around him told him, hey, be grateful to God, use this wealth for good, this was his answer. He's basically saying, don't lecture me about God. This wasn't a gift, this is because I'm a genius. It's because of my knowledge, my skill, my business sense. With that one statement, he completely cuts the cord between the blessing and the one who gave the blessing. He takes himself out of the divine system and makes himself the god of his own little universe.
And talk about a night and day difference. The commentary puts Qarun's blinding pride right next to this beautiful prayer of deep humility. This is the believer's mindset. It's the constant conscious recognition that every single good thing we have, our health, our intelligence, our family, our money, literally the very next breath we take, it's not from us. It's a gift from the source of all gifts. It is the polar opposite of Qarun's worldview. One says, I am the source of my power. The other says, God is the only true source.
So Qarun's story ends with him and all his wealth being swallowed up by the earth, a direct result of his arrogance. He acted as if nobody was watching, as if no one was keeping score. And that's the perfect transition the commentary makes into the system of divine justice. We're told that just like the system of creation is perfect, the system of accountability is also perfect. It has to be. And get this. The commentary lays out this incredible list of witnesses that will be there on that day, just to make sure justice is absolute. This is not a case of one person's word against another. There are layers upon layers of testimony that cannot be refuted. The scripture itself will testify. The prophets and their successors will testify. Even the very ground we walked on will report what we did on it. But maybe the most shocking of all are the witnesses we are carrying around with us every single second of our lives. I mean, just pause and think about that for a second. The source really emphasizes this to show how there is literally no escape. Imagine a courtroom where you want to defend yourself, but you can't because your own tongue is busy testifying to every lie you told. Your own hands are testifying to everything they touched or took. Your own feet are testifying to every forbidden place they took you. Our bodies, the very tools we use to act in this world, become the star witnesses for the prosecution.
And this prayer from Imam Ali just takes that concept to a whole other level. He's expressing this state of constant awareness, of mindfulness. He sees his own body parts not just as things he controls, but as divinely appointed spies, as witnesses that are recording everything he does in real time. This totally changes the idea of Judgment Day from some far-off event to something that's happening right here, right now. It's a call to live in a state of self-accountability every single moment.
So, with all that in mind, knowing that creation is perfect, that arrogance leads to ruin, and that every single thing we do is being recorded, how are we supposed to live? Well, the Quran gives us a critical piece of advice, and ironically, it's the same advice that was given to the arrogant Qarun.
Now, when you first read that, you might think, okay, great, it means don't forget to enjoy yourself, get your share of the good life, the worldly pleasures. It kind of sounds like be spiritual, but also, have some fun. But the commentary says, hold on, that is a very superficial and even dangerous way to read it. There is a much, much deeper meaning here.
So here's the crucial point. The commentary completely flips this on its head. It says your portion of this world is not what you can take from it. It's what you can use from it to build your eternal life. Your real portion is the opportunity that this world gives you. It's your health, it's your youth, it's your mind, your money, your free time. All of these things are your capital, your investment money, given to you as a trust from God. So the advice is actually, do not forget to use this capital to invest in things that will pay off forever. To forget your portion means to waste this once-in-an-existence opportunity. This idea completely reframes our life, doesn't it? This world isn't our home. It's more like a field that we're passing through. It's a very short but incredibly important time to plant seeds for the next life, which is the real, permanent one. Every moment, every dollar, every heartbeat is a seed you can plant. So in this context, forgetting your portion means walking through that field with a whole bag of seeds and getting to the other side, having planted absolutely nothing. All right, let's bring all of this together. We've gone from the perfection of the universe to the downfall of arrogance, from the certainty of judgment to the real purpose of our lives. And it all comes back to this one central point, this one fork in the road, the choice between humility and arrogance. And this chart just lays it out so clearly. You have two paths. On one side, you've got Qarun's path. He credited his success to himself, saying, "It's because of my own knowledge." He got drunk on this temporary world and completely forgot his real portion for the hereafter. And his end? Total destruction. Then you have the believer's path. They credit every single blessing to God, whispering, "Whatever good we have is from you." They know this world is a trust, an investment for the next, and their end? True success and salvation.
So this leaves us with a final thought to really sit with. If our life is just a short-term investment opportunity, a field we only get to walk through once, and if our own body is recording every single move for a trial where it will testify against us, then what is the real portion, the real profit, that we should be trying to get from our time here? What are we really working for? That's the fundamental question this entire deep dive leaves us to answer for ourselves.